Hi, so in this video I'm gonna show you how to make a medium size petal number 8. So actually this is quite different from the typical medium, because what I'm using here is a 12 by 12 sheets of paper. If you are using SVG, you can basically adjust it to fit it to 8.5 out by 12 by 12 cardstock. However, if you are using the ordinary 8.5 by 11 flower, I would recommend to use petal letter C, D, and E. So let's get started to make this quick. We have here 3 layers of our petals. 1, 2, 3, as I said. My petals has A, B, C, D, E, and F, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you're making medium, use the letter C, letter D, and letter E. So we have here the petals. It's pre-cut. It's 6 sheets per layer. We have here a 4 inches base. We have our flat centers, 2 of my favorite centers that I'm using. I also have a styrofoam here. I have a separate tutorial. You can check it out on my channel. You know how to make this styrofoam. And also 3 different sizes of curling materials. In my case, I have double rods and I have the pencil. We need to have scissors and our hot glue and glue gun. So let's get this started. First off is to create a slit to our petals. With mine, I highly recommend to cut 6 sheets at a time, so that you will have, it's not just faster, but also you have uniform depth on each petals of your layer. So again, the principle of cutting the slit, the larger the petal, the deeper the slit. So as you go on a smaller size, it gets shallower. So once we have our petals have its slit, now we can go ahead and curl it. So first thing is, let's softly make a soft curl the middle of the petals. So once we did that, we can now go ahead and curl one side outward and curl the other side inward, like so. So here's our second half of this layer. And we're curling one side outward and one side inward. So the first layer is done. Let's go ahead and do our second layer. So for the second layer, you don't really have to curl the center. I only do it on the first layer to really emphasize its shape. But for the second layer, you don't have to. You just have to curl the sides. Like so. The same as our third and final layer. So with the final layer, I'm using a pencil because this is the smallest curling material that suits the size of the petal. So 1, too. So after we curl our petals, we can now go ahead and glue the flaps together. This way we are creating dimensions to our petals. So one. So by the way, if you are wondering what kind of 12 by 12 sheets I'm using here, I don't know if you guys remember, but Michaels, every now and then they have a sale of this pack of 48 12 by 12 cardstock. It's in different colors anyway, but you know, good enough for me, especially when doing a tutorial. I can have several different colors of flower cardstock. What I like about that sale though, it really gets so low, like 48 sheets of 12 by 12 is only like $5.99. So every time that Michaels has that kind of sale, I make it sure that I grab 10 to 15 packs, you know, just for future purposes. And that's the good thing about investing on cardstock, because as long as you know that this is your passion, you can lay it there for months and it won't go bad unless it will be flooded or it will be caught on fire. So we are now in our second layer. So that's one of my tip, you know, save up, and every time there's a mega sale, empty the aisle of cardstock either on in Michaels or in Joann's, because that's usually how you can save if you got your materials first of all cheap. I don't buy at Michaels the regular cardstock. I only buy if it's $5 for $10, and I make sure that every time that it happen, I make sure that I have enough savings that I could empty, you know, literally there were times that, you know, I almost empty the entire aisle of cardstock in one store. But basically when it happened, I visited not only one store but 3 stores around the area that has the same sale, and I'm trying to get all those sellable colors. Of course, you're not going to buy cardstock that you think, you know, not everyone would like, such as, you know, dark colors like blue, like green, like orange. You know, you stick on pinks, reds, whites, and you know, those purple, some blacks. Yeah, there are people who likes black, white, and gold, and that's how I, you know, really stock my cardstock here. I have lots and lots of cardstock from those sale that, you know, I know whenever I need it, I have it in hand. Because the worst feeling is that, you know, you have a minimal budget and then there's no sale. So you really cannot bring down. I know it's hard enough already to price our handmade products, but it would be harder if we would, you know, compute our hard work plus a high cost of our material. So basically just buy whenever there's sale. So now we have glued the flaps together. It's now time for us to arrange this into our base. So basically I would recommend to use a thicker base. It would hold your flower very nicely and very steadily. So for those who are familiar with my method, just skip this one. But for those who are new, this is how I do mine. One petal with only, you know, half of the base has glue in it. Keep the other end open and place the second petal exactly at the opposite of the first. And then we are going to snake, that's why it's open, 2 petals in between these two. And before proceeding and gluing it, we have to make sure that, you know, it's evenly distributed, like it looks even. And secure it with hot glue. So this side now is finished. Let's do the other side. And you know, this cardstock, I really thought that I wouldn't like it that much because it has a slight texture on it. But guess what? I really love it because the color is so rich, and it's like matte but rich red. I so love it. And you know, the texture, as long as you know how to play with it, sometimes it would even do you some favor, like adding, as I said, more texture to your arrangement. So this color particularly is very hard to find, especially to the regular, you know, cardstock in Michaels. But this one from that 48 sheet cardstock that they had on sale for $5.99 once, every time they have that, I really get more. So we're now into our second layer, and I'm placing the first petal in between these two. Like so. And we don't have to do the same thing we did earlier because you know, we have an indication now where to place our petals. So as long as in between the two previous ones, we're good. So basically, when I lay this out, I cut this with my Cricut. I lay this out purposely on the entire 12 by 12, so there's no waste, and I use all 6 of them. And the thing about that pack of 48, each color has only 6, so basically it's very good for my you know, for my projects, because each flower only has like 6 layers mostly. So down to our third layer, our third petal here. So again, in a staggered position in between the two. So what I'm trying to do here is, you know, we want to cover as much as the white ones here, but basically this particular flat center has a bigger bold surface, so we don't really have to worry. It's gonna be covered fully. But in an instance that you don't have this flat center and you only have center similar to this that has a narrower or a smaller diameter, see, when you glue it, you can still see the white one. So what I would suggest is really to move your petals closer inward, or cut a piece of the same petal color, the same color petal, and then cover the entire thing before putting your center. So we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this petal design, by the way, is listed already in my Etsy shop. I haven't really had a chance to create a special tutorial for this particular flower, so I decided, you know, to really update all my listings and create the necessary tutorials for my flowers. So now we can go ahead and have this flat center, put some glue on it. This is my first layer. This is what I love about this flat centers. Doesn't mean that it's flat, it's gonna be flat and boring. You know, we just have to learn to layer it to give it more interest. So what I'm trying to do now is to curl these petals upward. Just to create dimension on our center. So once it's finished, we can then now go ahead and place it as center as we can. And you know, you have different choices. You can use different colors of how you like it. So basically, in this size of flower, I use 6 pieces of 12 by 12, and then 1 piece of 8.5 by 11 inches flower for the center. And we are now gluing our half of styrofoam bowl filled with glitter. So basically, this color is so rich, so nice. It's so great for, you know, Christmas decor if you wish. So let's check out how big this flower is. So basically it's a 17 inches 17 and a half, almost 18 inches flower for just 6 sheets of cardstock. So not bad at all. Not bad at all to fill your flower wall if you have that kind of project. So until next time, guys, I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do, and if you have any questions, any comments, just message me anywhere in my social media. You can also put your comment here. We basically trying to monitor as much as we can, you know, with the comments in our YouTube, but I am most definitely active on Instagram. So until next time, bye bye.